Yo, yo, yo. What's good, folkers? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. This is Tyrant's Bane. Welcome to the Definition of Anarchy. Where today on April 26, 2021, I'm going to talk about how dangerous the Officer Tatum is for the black community, okay? Now, I came to this conclusion because I saw a video, and I only saw maybe the first 3-4 minutes of the video, and that's all I needed to know, that yes, this guy for sure is a danger to the black community. He's not a help to the black community. He does not represent the black community, and I'm going to tell you why. But first, I'm going to play what he said that made me like, okay, this is it. There's no hope for this dude, because he is definitely intellectually dishonest, and the way he portrays the black community as a whole is very problematic. Okay, now I've gone over many reasons with this dude, but I felt like, maybe it was just because he's been out of the black community for a while, and maybe he needs to touch base or something. I don't know. I didn't know then, but now I know for sure he's just not good for the black community. Let me play the video.
I want to address this morning. It's not morning anymore. Some of y'all it's afternoon. But two thoughts. Somebody sent me a video from a young lady named Angela Stanton. Obviously, I know who she is.
He hates Angela Stanton.
And I'm going to comment on the comment she made in the video and why I believe she's wrong. The second thing I'm going to talk about is why, just because you're poor or you have less, mean that you have to act a fool and be illegitimate as a person. Now, let's talk about the Angela Stanton video. Somebody sent me the thing about Angela Stanton. I'm not going to go into my personal opinions about who she is and what she represents. However, the statement was made that somehow Brandon Tatum and Candace Owens do not represent the black community because we ain't, convicted felons.
No, wait. So, hold on. Now, I looked for this video, right? Just so I had a little bit more context of what I'm not sure if she actually said these are the reasons why he doesn't represent the black community, but he's going to say these things. And I looked for the video. I looked for what he was talking about, could not find it. So if anybody knows what he's talking about, where Angela Stanton King is talking about how the Officer Tatum, Brandon Tatum, and Candace Owens don't represent the black community, I'll be greatly appreciated. And let's keep going. But I'm going to focus on what he actually said, okay?
And spend time in prison, I don't know, sound hood enough, got gold teeth in our mouth or something. Somehow we are not qualified to speak to the black community as if the message that we have do not resonate with black people. Let me tell you why this is incredibly flawed as a thought process.
Now, I'm going to tell you why that's incredibly flawed as a thought process. You see what he did there? He thinks people think he doesn't represent the black community because he doesn't talk hood, he doesn't have gold teeth, right? And he ain't been in prison and all this other shit. That's not why people like me feel he does not represent the black community. Because guess what? I don't do those things either, but I represent the black community. I really do. Like, I don't sag my pants. I ain't been to prison, right? I don't have gold teethuses. You know what I'm saying? I don't do any of that. But he talks about speech and how people talk. You're not very articulate yourself. I mean, you say a lot of words out of context. Let's get that straight. But that's not the point. The point is this. I represent the black community. You know why? Because I understand the struggle of the black community, and I know how to express that to people. I know how to convey that struggle to people outside of the black community. I know how to do that. And not only that, I grew up in the black community. He grew up in the black community, and I never left the black community. He left the black community, which is that's not really important, because you can live wherever you want to live. But the fact of the matter is, if I left the black community, I would still know the struggle. I will still understand the black community. I live in a more, established, a more, a safe black community. They exist. And see, this is the problem. He acts as though every black community is dangerous, hood, gunshots going off, gang banging. No. Now, there's gang members down the street from where I live and all this other stuff. I don't live in an exactly affluent black area. It's kind of like a mix. It's like Lamert Park slash, that's irrelevant. But the fact is, I don't need to do all those things to represent the black community. But those aren't the reasons you don't represent the black community. The reason you don't represent the black community is because every chance you get, no matter what happens, you choose to ignore how the black community, right? Many black communities, not all of them, how many black communities got in the position they were in due to what happened in the past, and those things not being corrected throughout time up to this point, and how the politicians address certain black communities like Watts and Compton and parts of South LA. Why, there's a lot of issues. Okay, there's a lot of issues in the people that do things to address these issues, right? That aren't in politics, right? Like my homeboy, Big John, he has Second Call, where is gang intervention. He helps get people from the hood jobs in the electrical field and in other construction fields and all that other stuff. There are people doing work, right? And that's how I know I represent the black community, because I can steer people in that direction. I'm trying to help improve the black community by relating to them, because I grew up there and I'm black and I have that, that camaraderie with many black people in the hood. Even though I'm not a gang member, I have a certain level of camaraderie with gang members, to the point where I can talk to them and not be afraid. You understand what I'm saying? That's how it is. But let's see what else he's talking about. I know I had to do this video when I heard this.
You are essentially saying that black people are so one-dimensional that if a person is speaking facts and speaking into, speaking reality or presenting reality, that if they ain't hood enough, or they cannot articulate themselves, that somehow black people can't hear them. As if Martin Luther King was a hood dude from with gold teeth and tats, sagging his pants, walking down the street.
Well, you see what he did there? During the times when Martin Luther King was doing his thug thizzle, were there people walking around with gold teeth, baggy jeans? No, there were not. No. There weren't gangs. You understand what I'm saying? There weren't black gangs. I mean, there were criminals and all that other stuff. But for the most part, these were black people who were struggling through a system that treated them like shit. You understand what I'm saying? Martin Luther King, he wouldn't have been presented with people. He wouldn't have come across those things. You understand? But he spoke to the black community because he recognized the struggle of the black community, right? Don't relate yourself to Martin Luther King, my friend. Martin Luther King didn't go up to white people and say, "Oh, I'm a good Negro. Oh, don't put me along with those Negroes. I'm a good Negro. Blah, blah, blah." No. He wanted to integrate. Really what he wanted was equal rights and equal opportunity for black people. And he felt like, integration was the best way to do it, because if we're in the same schools and we have to do things together, then, we had to get equal shit. Turns out he wasn't so right about that. But Martin Luther King spoke to the people, right? He related to the people because he treated them with compassion and empathy. You understand what I'm saying? You don't do those things. You have no empathy. You have no compassion for the black community that struggle, right? You only have, you only care about those black people who are willing to go along with what you want, right? If you know what I'm saying, like you do these seminars and you talk to these people, and we gonna come to the Republican Party. They're gonna take care of you and all this, that, and the third. I don't know if you're on that right now, but you were. I don't know what Angela Stanton King said about him not representing him. I don't know what reason she gave that he doesn't represent him, but I say that he doesn't represent the black community because he doesn't understand the black community any longer, right? He doesn't care about the black community like that. That's what I think. That's my opinion, right? Just based on his actions, based on the things he says about people in the black community, based on the fact that he shits on the black community any chance he gets, in front of his white conservative audience. You understand what I'm saying? And it has nothing to do with you not being hood enough. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody who's heard you speak understands that you probably grew up in the hood. They understand that. It's no two ways about it. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna do for now. I got to get to work in about 10 minutes. I got to get things set up. But I'm going to continue this video a little bit later. But I wanted to get a jump on it right now to help you guys understand why Brandon Tatum does not represent the black community. It's not because he ain't hood. It's not because he ain't got gold teeth and all this other bullshit. Because you can have gold teeth and still not represent the hood. You could gold. That's not reserved for black people in the hood. Are you kidding me? A lot of white people in the South have gold teeth. But let's not go there. You understand what I'm saying? So it's about understanding the struggle. It's about understanding why the struggle is there. He thinks the struggle for the black community is black people's fault. And he can have that belief. That's fine. But he'd be wrong. You understand what I'm saying? He'd be wrong. Now, not everyone who grew up in an impoverished neighborhood has to participate in the bullshit. A lot don't. Many of the people in these black communities do not participate in the hooligan bullshit. It's a small percentage that happen to terrorize the most of the a lot of the community. You understand what I'm saying? That do commit crimes and things like that. It's not everybody in the community. If you can speak to those people, how about that? Have you ever made the decision, you know what, I'm going to go into these neighborhoods, talk to the people, talk to the elderly people, talk to the people the working people, the people that aren't committing these crimes, the people that aren't in the gangs, and see how they feel and see how we can help them reach those that are committing these crimes, see how we can pull them out. Have you got with these gang intervention leaders to talk about how you can help move black people forward, how to pull people out of the struggle, out of the strife, out of these gangs? Because if you understand that kids join gangs because they feel like they need a family outside the family they have, because you know the mother could be on drugs, or the father's locked up, or you know what I'm saying, the mother is single, she's working 2 jobs and she can't be there all the time for a number of reasons. And sometimes it's kids who are well-to-do and are attracted to that lifestyle, and so they I know plenty of dudes like that grew up in my neighborhood, had both, well, not both parents, but they grew up, you know, well-to-do. The parents, their mother took care of them, you know what I'm saying, but they decided they wanted to be part of a gang just because they thought it was a fun little thing. You know, these cats are from the Overhill Slauson 60, you know what I'm saying, that faction of it. But that's another story. The point is, that's not why you don't represent the black community. It's not because you don't have gold teeth and don't talk a certain way. All right, but anyway, I'm gonna get at y'all later. Much love, peace out.